Action. All right, so I just want to show y'all a draping of a dress design that I am currently working on. The lighting is just so interesting, but hopefully you can see. It's this really pretty fabric, like I love it. It was gifted to me by a man I was dating. Long story short, I was supposed to be his +1 to a wedding. I did not go. I broke it off. I said, Uncle, I have to go my own way. But of course I still had the fabric, and I ended up making a dress. It's this like really pretty corset dress. I'm going to show you guys another time. It's literally a hassle to put on. That's gonna also be a prototype for the samples I'm developing for the Alaere fashion line. But I decided, okay, you know what? I have this scrap fabric. I also have this vintage ankara fabric from my older sister from like 20 something years ago, and I'm making this like halter dress. The zipper for the top is broken, so it's gonna be a low back, and I'm just gonna use the zipper from the skirt, which thankfully is still intact. I also have this fabric, which is really pretty, but the fabric, we'll see how I go about sewing this, which is why I'm glad that I'm sewing it onto the ankara, which is very stable, because this fabric is just, I can't imagine trying to sew this on its own, like absolutely not, absolutely not. So with this fabric, it's very ornate, like there's so many jewels. It's very pretty though, very pretty. However, we're gonna see how well my needle does. Like I like to think that I have invested in a good machine, but I haven't sewn on anything like this, so I'm definitely going to avoid the beading and just try to stick to sewing the net, which we'll see how I go about cutting it. I'm not gonna just cut straight through like this or anything, like, so I want to be conscious. I'm so delirious right now, y'all. I'm so sleepy. I need to take a nap so bad, but I said no, I am going to do this. Let's bring it together. So I'm gonna actually show you guys what my sewing machine looks like. So this is my sewing machine, the Brother CS7000i. It's a really good sewing machine. Like there's so many different stitching patterns, and I like it thus far. There's also this fabric that I'm excited to work with. But yeah, like spending so much time in my studio, turning it into a makeshift atelier, that's really fun. I'm gonna show you more of the fabric. And I think it's gonna be really cute because I'm putting it on top of this dark blue fabric that has orange. It has, hold on, let me see if I can find it. It has like orange details and stuff, so I think that's gonna just be really pretty. Now, I don't know if the neckline is going to be a cowl neck or not. I'm kind of thinking like I want it to just be flat, but we'll see, because all of this all of these materials here, I don't know, we're gonna have to see. Yeah, honestly, it's falling apart anyway, so I'm gonna undrape it real quick and then show you what I'm working with underneath. Okay. Finally, so this is just like such a pretty fabric. Like it is so pretty. This is literally like gorgeous. But as you can see, like it definitely obviously needs something underneath. So this is what the lining will be. That's what we're working with. I think if anything, also like for example, this one is going. I'm gonna probably cut it out and save this because I do like this. I like this. I just don't know if I want to use it for this dress. We'll see how this goes. We shall see. This is not naturally attached. I like tucked it in. I'm thinking it's gonna be like a V in the back, but yeah, excuse the mess. It should be easy to just attach these, and then I think after that I'll try it on and see how I feel. This is what we're working with. I have no idea how long it's gonna take me, but in other news though, I am going to start learning how to do hand beaded embroidery, and so I've been watching some tutorials and I have some exciting projects that I want to create and show y'all. And yeah, I'm just gonna put in more of an effort to share more about this line, because the plan is to open within the next year my first pop-up location, which will be an art gallery and boutique. And once I find an atelier to work with, I'll also be releasing other products, like more intimate, lingerie-esque products that also feel like wearable art. And yeah, I'm also really excited to launch the jewelry part of the fashion line. I already have the jeweler I've been working with in New York, and that's just gonna be really great. They have like these really amazing limited edition pieces that I'm able to source from them. So I think that's gonna be really cool. And yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else in the pipeline. I'm moving to Paris. More on that to come. I'm still navigating the logistics, and I'm going to be doing a crowdfunding campaign because that is where the first physical location of Alaere Lifestyle is going to be. I've just been thinking about Paris for the last few years, and when I was younger and I knew that around this age, like I'm 28 now, turning 30 next year, and I'm just like, you know what? This is what I always said I would do. When I was younger, I told myself, if by the time I'm around this age, I'm not married, I'm not like tied down to a job where I can't leave the US, I'm moving to France and je peux français. So why not? And I'm really excited to like launch that crowdfunding campaign, because I have received inquiries about how people who cannot necessarily at this moment afford my artwork, how else they can support my journey. And a lot of y'all probably also know me because of my book. That's another way to support me, by buying my book, buying my stationery line, which I'm gonna do a dedicated video showing y'all some of the products from the stationery line, but I'm gonna put in some photos here. But yeah, I'm just gonna also put it on the screen so you can see. But yeah, like there's just so much happening. I'm really grateful to God that I get to do this as my job. Like, it's kind of crazy, but I'm actually gonna show y'all something. This is what I want to show y'all. This is a book I had from like elementary school. I had to have been like 9, and I would draw all of these designs. I swore I was gonna be the next like Vera Wang. So it's actually just so funny. Like, I've been drawing dresses since I was a child. Literally, I remember my friend Tristan, this had to be like 4th grade. She was like, you're gonna design my wedding dress. And yeah, I really wanted to be like Vera Wang. And so another designer that inspired me was Lisa Folayuo, like Jewel by Lisa. I just loved fashion, still do. And I think that being an African woman, you know, so much I could say, but especially in Nigerian culture, there's an emphasis to go a certain path. And a lot of my uncles and aunties, like I literally went to church today and they were all like, I'm so proud of you. I see what you're doing on LinkedIn. Yes, like how can I help? And it's just such a far cry from how I felt, the pushback, like, and just the questions and the judgment that I was feeling like, you know, 3-4 years ago when I first started this journey. So I think my journey has just been a testament to the value of consistency and dedication, and just saying, hey, this is plan A, this is plan A, I'm doing plan A. And I tried to do plan B as, you know, my main P. I thought, okay, yeah, you know what? My parents won't let me be a fashion designer and an artist. Let me go and be an economist. But now I get to use the knowledge I learned at Brown University, which thank God for that education. Thank God for my knowledge of macroeconomics and microeconomics and cultural economics and international trade and international business and public affairs, because now I can really position myself where it will be advantageous to me. I can understand how to navigate certain supply chain concerns that are definitely arising for various business owners in the United States, especially those who rely on imported goods, you know, for their business. So yeah, we move, we thank God, like I'm happy I'm doing what I want to do, and I'm just gonna like keep vlogging this journey. Also, let's get into this jumpsuit, period. I don't know how to sew jumpsuits just yet, but when I do, it's over. It's over for these hoes. Like, I'm just excited to move to Paris, work with an actual atelier. And I think another thing I'm gonna say before I wrap this up is just like having the opportunity to create jobs for other creatives. Like, it is so difficult sometimes to be able to find employment opportunities if you're an artist, a fashion designer, a writer, you know, just a creative professional, photographer. And that's literally what I need for my team. Like, we need more brands that are not owned by corporate conglomerates that don't care about workers' rights, that are literally paying kids overseas pennies to do things. And it's just like, even with my bag, the leather bags that I have on my website, those are all created by skilled artisans in London. I'm very aware of the fact that the fashion industry is one of the biggest contributors to just a lot of the issues we face in the world: child labor, just unfair worker conditions, not being sustainable, waste, all of that stuff. So that's why even like as I develop my prototypes, it could be very easy to buy some fabric and make the prototypes, discard of it, make the samples, discard. And it's just like, why? I have so much fabric, like literally I try to hide it with the pillow, but I have so much fabric. I have this like whole suitcase of vintage ankara that I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to use this, revamp it. I'm gonna wear the clothes that I sew. I'm gonna wear it and use that to develop the samples and create something that I'm proud of, and something that can also be an inspiration and a vessel through which God can bless other people. I just feel like my life is really about to change. Like, I just had this in the best way, like in the best way possible, making the decision to move to Paris and expand my business over there. I just feel this sense of calm, this sense of like, okay, you know? And I'm all about moving in silence, but I think it's important to share goals that other people actually want to support. Like, if there are people who want to support you, tell them what you're working on. Tell them, hey, you know, this is the goal. You don't have to tell them everything from A to Z, but if I had not decided, okay, I'm moving to Paris, I'm gonna open my first space there, I wouldn't have been able to get a lot of really helpful advice and connections that I've been encountering lately. And you will see that the people who believe in you are actually very eager to support, and the people who are just watching, monitoring, well, that's no voila. They don't have to know anything. They'll just see it when it's done. And I think that's kind of like also why I'm choosing to document this process on YouTube. I feel like we're fam, you know, in this club, we're all fam. So anyways, I'm literally so sleepy. Like, it's time to, I was half asleep. I was like, no, Odemi, just do something. Like, if I can try to put out a weekly vlog, it'll make me feel better. It'll just make me feel like I'm documenting my process, and I think it's gonna be really valuable for myself in the future, and also somebody else who is like trying to figure out what to do with their life and like, you know, hesitant about pursuing their dreams. Like, this is literally my home studio. You know, like, all of this all of this I created because I had the dedication and a little bit of stubbornness to say, hey, you know what? society may be trying to push me in this direction, but I'm gonna follow the vision God has given me. So I'm just really happy to use the work of my hands to create beauty and to inspire women globally, especially my African queens. I love y'all. Alaere, that means queen in Ijo. You're a queen. Anybody who has my art, you have my fashions, you have my book. It's designed to honor the regality within you. And so, yeah, I could go on and on and on and on. But until next time, peace.